So, one of the top 5 reasons that marriages end in divorce is because of money problems. When your marriage comes face to face with financial stressors and they are not dealt with right, it can be devastating. I know firsthand what it's like. My marriage did end in divorce. And while our financial situation was not an issue at that time, during our marriage, there were so many ups and downs for us financially. We went through bankruptcy, challenges, not having enough money to take care of our 3 kids, job loss, changes in careers, medical issues that impacted our finances. The list goes on and on. It was no joke during these times. Men, listen to me carefully. I don't care about your age, how much money you make, how much education you have. I know that as a husband, you go through financial situations in your marriage that can really mess with your self worth, your self esteem, and just make you overall feel helpless. The one thing that I do wish I had known was how to approach things differently when it came to our finances and being a wife. Here are 4 things I wish I knew before I became a wife. Number 1, maintain emotional connection. I remember not feeling emotionally connected as we were when I was stressed out about our finances and our money. It was probably the last thing that was on my mind because I was so preoccupied with our life, our kids, my job, and then just the pressures of our finances overall. However, making time for each other outside of financial discussions, it is important because we have to nurture our emotional connections. Showing affection, even going out to the park to spend time with each other, will help strengthen your bond, especially when you're going through these challenging times. Number 2, it is important to have realistic conversations about how you both are feeling about your financial situations. You have to make a choice to make time in a safe space when you both can communicate in a way when your emotions are not running high. I remember that sometimes I would pick the worst times to communicate. It was times when I was already frustrated about our finances. I was irritated. I was just feeling like I didn't have a partner when in fact I did. I kind of isolated myself in a bubble. I just wasn't communicating what I needed from him. Men, I know the last thing you need is for your wife to communicate with you in a way that makes you feel that you are unappreciated and not valued when you're going through these times. It is important for us to encourage one another, have open dialogue by listening attentively and validating each other's emotions. Number 3, focus on solutions, not blame. So the blame game in a relationship is not cute, especially during times where we're dealing with financial challenges. As a man, I know that you already are experiencing some self defeating emotions. And instead of us dwelling on past mistakes and assigning blame for these issues, it is important to focus on finding constructive solutions together and working as a team, especially through these challenges, so that we can build a foundation for financial trust and support one another through these times. Number 4, we have to celebrate the small victories. I know that during this time in my marriage, I just kept wanting to get out of the situation we were in. I wasn't thinking about the small victories as we were working a plan to get from under the financial water we were in. The thing is, now that I think about it, we didn't even really have a concrete plan that we were working together. And this is the reason why communication has to happen. We have to acknowledge and celebrate even the smallest victory. This will help make progress towards improving our financial situation, especially as it relates to nurturing our relationship and acknowledging each other's hard work in this process. Remember, recovering from financial situations during your marriage is not easy. It takes patience, communication, openness, and of course, transparency. I had to face the fact that the way that I operated many times during my marriage when we were going through financial situations was not positive. I know that this came from a lack of understanding about how to operate as a wife, specifically during these times. This was based on how I grew up, my experiences, and just let's be honest, there's no classes or school that teach us how to be this way to our partners during these times. So it is important to remember to discuss all things on the table during financial situations. For me, especially, I felt like I had to control the purse. I had to know what was coming in and coming out, which was great. I had no problem doing it, but I wasn't communicating this with my partner. I wasn't sharing the responsibility and the load of our financial situations, which led me to feel resentment. It led me to feel frustrated many times, and it had me operating like I wasn't in a partnership when I really was. If I don't know anything else, what I do know is there is help. There is professional help that a couple can get, whether it is a marriage counselor or a financial therapist. It is important to seek help during these times for the longevity of your relationship. Now, here is our credit tip for the day. When you have joint accounts, remember that your partner's credit history is affected by any and all account history. So make sure that you are aware when you have joint accounts that you both agree about how they'll be managed and, of course, how they'll be paid off. Also remember that it is essential to manage the joint accounts together, and it's also important for your partner to maintain their individual credit history. This can be done with credit cards, loans in each person's name, and ensuring, of course, again, that bills are paid on time. Thank you for spending time with me today while I shared intimate details related to my relationship, my marriage, and our financial issues, and the things that impacted me as a wife, and the things that I wish I could have done better. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share with 5 people. And remember, you are your greatest value. You are your greatest asset. Take care.